What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the next episode of Arena Goat Talk, bringing on the Arena Greats, let them tell their story and give you guys some tips along the way. The next guest, one of the best D linemen to play this game, he ended up with lineman of the year, defensive player of the year, and ended up taking it to the next level in the NFL and representing and dominating at that level as well. All right, so on this episode, we have Mr. Stylez White. What's going on with you?
Good evening, sir. How you doing today?
Doing good. Appreciate you coming on.
Yeah. See, Arena Goat. What I be considered a goat, I like it.
Okay.
I'll take the goat.
So you better run with it.
Hey, listen. So, listen. The legend that was you when I first got to Arena. And everybody kept talking about you. And I'm like, he was that dope. He was that dope. And I saw the film. I was like, yeah, he that dope. You know what I mean? And they was like, yeah. And it's like, you could, I was like, I was like, this one, like, I don't know this Arena League like that. Like, this dude he's like the it all be all of the D lineman and the sacks and everything. You made it look easy. I was like, man.
Yeah, but when that baton got passed to you, you took that thing and ran off with it.
Man, it was fun. The whole remember Church Street.
Yeah,
like everything was like fun. It was a good time, man. You felt very appreciated. I've said before, playing in the NFL and Arena, it's like. It was like, at the time my name was Greg White, right? So it was Greg White, Orlando Predator. And then when I got to the NFL, prior to me being in the NFL, it was like football player Greg White. You know what I mean? At the time. Mm-hmm. So I really felt like I was appreciated in Arena League, Mm-hmm. But good, you got questions. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to jump in. Go ahead. Ask the questions. I'm ready. Good.
We about to get there. So you touched on something. You care to share when you changed the name?
Oh, so the name change just I don't even it was 2000. I remember 2008, and Jill Hobbs, who passed away, rest in peace. She came to me. Well, I came to her because we always had like a cool vibe, and I was like, "Yo, I think about changing my name." She's like, "Really?" Like, yeah, I'm saying her name. And I was like, what do you think about Stylez? I said, I'll do Stylez. She's like, okay. But then we looked at names to spell it. And she helped me. And I was like, all right, we'll go with Stylez, Stylez White. And I changed it. And then I just kept it. The whole idea of going to changing my name was I was a junior. It was Gregory. I can tell you, Gregory Alfonso White. Listen, just so you know, they should be paying for this because I'm about to give you my whole government name. So I want 10%. So, all right, so it was Gregory Alfonso White Jr., right? And I was like, my biological didn't bother that much, yada yada. So me changing my first name wasn't a big deal, and it went from Stylez G White, and the G I just kept G in memory of. They were like, oh, what does G stand for? Gregory? I was like, no, it stands for greatness. And then I was like, it was just G. It was G. Remember, they're like, so your G stands for nothing, just G. You know what I mean? So, I got
that sound like Lil Wayne, Louisiana.
Yeah. The episode finished. Yeah, I was, go get him, gorgeous. Whatever you want it, whatever you feel, I feel you feel. You feel me? So
whatever you feel like in the moment, I'm with you.
Yeah, So they had what they have. So I got it from Teen Wolf. The Teen Wolf Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
Now, and it was his best friend name was Stylez, which was cool. Mm-hmm. And I was like, he was like an entrepreneur type dude. He kept it going. You know what I mean? Like he was around Michael J. Fox's best friend, but he's an entrepreneur, making money and stuff. So I was like, I kind of like the vibe. I like the vibe. So I went with, Stylez, and then I just stayed with Stylez. Okay. And between you and I, when I first legally changed my name and I was telling people my name, it did sound weird. Like I was like, that's like Greg. But you know, my name was changed. I'm like, great. But if they ask me for my ID, I'm like, Stylez. You know what I mean? Like, it depends on where I went or they need an ID out there. Like, it's Stylez. But where you going? But it's funny because if I tell anybody my name is Pete or something, they'll go along with it. But if I'm like Stylez, I'm like, well, it can't be Stylez.
That ain't no regular name. They want to know.
Man, there's all types of names out here these days. They always have Mercedes. They got Alexis. They got Supreme. Yo, you know, I know a dude. His name is Majesty.
I could believe it.
I was like, yo, and at first I was offended because I'm not, you know what I mean? But that was really his name, Majesty. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. I thought he tried to be cool. I didn't really think it was his real name, so I apologize. Yeah. But it's a cool name, you know. So
yeah,
you know, that's what it is.
Okay, so shoot, break it down. So let's start from the beginning. So where you from, and kind of talk about your humble beginnings.
Okay, first,
Google.
Where you Google from? Me. Google. No, I'm from Newark. I'm from Newark, New Jersey. Newark. Now, Newark is how people from Newark say it, but you spell it Newark. I say it like Nork. Newark. I don't know why. It's just what we do from Newark. Anyways, from Newark, went to Shabazz, went to University of Minnesota. Was playing linebacker because I'm an athlete. So I was you know, I can give you a fun story. So this is a story that was told to me, but I remember this day. Me and my man Khalid Corsi, we was in the gym seeing how many backflips we can do. Now I remember this day because I remember me and Khalid doing it. But my recruiter, Mark Snyder, was like, I didn't know he was there that day. We were just in there. He was like, I remember like walking in there and walking to the office or whatever and seeing you doing backflips with the other guy. And I knew that we had to figure it out to get you to Minnesota, right? Mm-hmm. Now, if you want to go even further back than that, do you know that you didn't know this, but they never wanted me. So what happened was Assad Abdul Khalik, who's from Elizabeth, New Jersey, also quarterback high school, could have been in college, got hurt, yada yada. He's also quarterback. Mm-hmm. They came to see him, and they saw me. So that was just like it just so happened to line up where the day that they came to see him, mm-hmm. they saw me balling because he was a baller. So everybody wanted him, and then they came and saw me. I mean, when they saw him, saw me, and that's how I even got to Minnesota. It wasn't even like they came to see me. I just was balling out. So just go to show you, people watching. People always watching. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So then he told me about that, and that's how I ended up going to Minnesota. They went from linebacker to DN, which was nasty work. Them linemen came way too fast. You know what I mean? Like in high school, you know, you get the running start and you get to dodge them, but they were right here. Like as soon as they got the ball, they hit you in the mouth. And then back then, we older now. Back then they were running the ball in the Big Ten. Ron Dane, all the boys, they was running a rock. So I was getting double team. I couldn't stand it. And then I went there, and they decided that I was a better pass rusher. And so they put me on a nickel package, and that's how I kind of started off. And then became a starter. Then didn't do well in college. That's off the record. I just did it. What do you want me to do? I didn't even know I was gonna go to college. I just thought I was gonna be one of those Al Bundy type dudes. You dig? Like, I had like 150 tackles in high school. Like, you can't beat that. You feel what I'm saying? I was a famed blue chipper. Remember the blue back in the day? That used to be the thing. Uh-huh. But I ended up going there, leaving early, and I left, and I got drafted in like the 7th round with the Houston Texans. The first year they came out, had a blast there. Let me tell you something, I had a lot of growing up to do. I had a blast. Let me tell you, I can't forget his name. He was a center. He's with y'all. I think he's the center. What's the white boy name? I can't think of his name.
Cleveland.
Anyways, no, not Cleveland.
Krause. Cleve Krause.
Was it a Mike? I forget his name.
It's Cleve Krause Soldano, but he was a guard.
No, Soldano was a tackle.
Yeah.
No, I think he was. Was he with Philly at the time? I forgot. Anyways, so I was so let's fast forward a little bit. So I was, went to college, yada yada. Now I didn't drink until like my sophomore year, junior year to college, right? So, how people are like, yo, you go from 0 to 100. Mm-hmm. Now, I didn't drink when I was in high school and stuff like that. Not supposed to, but I wasn't drinking anyway. So, I think my junior year or so in college. I'm everywhere, but I got to tell you this because just remember. Guess what I decided? First, I was doing like wine coolers and Alizé, like some weak stuff, some Tropicana, tropical. So, anyways, I forget the name of it, but it was big back in the day. I went from that to guess what I went to? Take a guess.
You was Mad Dog or something?
151.
Some Mad Dog, a Thunderbird.
No, 151. That's like 1,000 proof. Just so you know, boy, that was the worst decision I've ever made. I threw up. It was bad. Anyways, that being said, I went and got drafted 7th round. I was partying all the time. And something I wasn't used to. What was going on? Sorry. Something I wasn't used to.
Mm-hmm.
Being but check it out. So I go to the Texans, end up getting like 4 sacks in one game. I mean, I'm the talk of the town. So it's even better. Now, the part that threw me off was, so I probably had like 5 sacks. So that one game I had a breakout game. I think Vic Fangio he laid into me, boy. He was like, yo, you weren't even supposed to, can we run a 3-4? Mm-hmm. Yeah, 3-4. And like, you weren't even put a rush display. Like you just took off. Like you just took. Here's my thing, right?
Uh-huh.
The fact that I made the play should have been good. Like, okay, you didn't know where you were going, but at least you made the play, right?
Uh-huh.
That was not for him. He cared less. And anyways, ended up get released. That's 2000. Was 2002. And I got released. Went to a couple practice squads. It was that. So you may or may not can relate to this, but I tried out for a team and I did well. I did well. Like I was slow in learning the plays, but they could have kept me and whatnot. I forgot what I was gonna say. Hold on. Okay. When I have never, ever not been good enough for a team. When I was wrestling, I was a star. If I ran track, I was a star. Like I run track because I know it was gonna work. But if I did shot put, I was at least decent, right? Or wrestle, I was like going to the quarterfinals and wrestling in high school. Like I was always good at what I did, right? And I always made a team. I probably was a captain or starred a team if not a captain. And when I went to the Texans and they cut me, that was the first time I ever was not good enough for a team. Mm-hmm. Right? You think that'll humble me? Nope. I was like, yo, so I didn't make it happen. No, it hurt. No, I'm gonna be honest with you. It hurt. It hurt. I even got a little like dirt in my eyes because it hurt. Mm-hmm. And I can tell you this. And my mom, my pops, and I don't talk too much about them because my pops wasn't really around. My mom, your mom's your mom, from the hood, yada yada. Well, don't really talk to my mom. I get released, and I didn't talk to anybody because I was embarrassed. Mm-hmm. And my mom called me, my father called me. I didn't want to talk to my mom because I was like, I felt like I disappointed her and stuff because I wasn't good enough. Disappointed myself. And she, talking to my father, my stepfather, my father at the time, and He goes, "Your mom want to talk to you." I was like, "All right." So he puts her on the phone, and she goes, "Hey, babe, how you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm good, man." And she was like, "So what's going on?" I was like she knew because my father told her, like, you know what I mean? Like she knew what's going on, but she wanted me to tell her, like, you know what I mean? So I'm like, all right. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, kind of take a deep breath. And I was like, yeah, so I got released from the team. And I was heartbroken, like I was hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And, she paused, and then she was like, literally, and you could be, she was like, fuck them. We go somewhere else. And I don't know why, but the long pause and you know, I mean, this curse, you could bleep it out. It's just like, fuck them. Because I'll never forget it. Like it was so.
Almost like a switch, like a light switch.
Yeah, like it was like, that shit don't bother me. Now I'm like, okay, I go to another team. I understand the business. Y'all want to keep politicking, yada yada. You're gonna cut me, cool. It got to a point where I was like, with 5-6 teams, I didn't even care why they cut me. I just need my plane ticket. Like you ain't gotta sit here and tell me whatever, because I don't care. I don't just give me my plane ticket, get me back to where I need to be, yada yada, right? Because that's pretty much that was it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I went there, did well. Was on the practice squad, bounced the practice squad, went to Bucks. Am I just telling you a story, or should you ask some questions?
So when you
I'm rambling on those.
you're good. So that helped me see how to kind of break this down. So we'll come back. We'll come back to that. So when you were coming up, you talked about how you were like the best at the best or one of the better or whatever at every sport that you played. Was there any other motivation behind all that, or was it just like, man, I want to be the best?
Honestly, it wasn't even I wanted to be the best. It was I was good. I really didn't know how good I was until people started telling me. Because I'm like my urban legends, the legends that was there before me who bought at a high school level but didn't go further. You're like, when I so it's crazy. Like so, there, back in high school, right? You get number like now. If 50 was a number for me back in the day, and a guy Ray Warren, he wore that, and he was like a beast. Everybody who wore 50, like a linebacker, was that guy. I wanted. I was like, yo, I feel like I can get 50 type of things. I wasn't like, I get. I'm like, yo, I can see myself in that. Yeah. And I remember he and I having a conversation, and I believe that he had a bad practice. I think a bad practice or something was on his mind. And I remember going to him. And this was when I was young, a freshman or whatever. I think he was in there. And I was like, hey, man, just kept asking him questions. He's like, yo, stop asking me questions. Yeah. And he was mean. It was me. And I literally, I swear to God, we was at camp. He talked to me and I just started crying. Like, I mean, not in front of his face because I'm a thug. I ain't doing it in front of his face. I went to my room. I was like, yo, I can't believe, he do like I'm trying to just be like him. He don't even know. And it was more of it was more of a, oh shit, I'm really good at this. Let me go hard in the gym. And I had to paint. And I remember when I was trying to learn linebacker and I couldn't get my slides right. I was literally in the house doing my slides by myself on a door. I think it was on South 18th Street where I lived in Newark. I was like sliding, like trying to get my feet down by myself on carpet. You know how hard that is? Okay, on carpet. You understand what I'm saying? And we're on grass, carpet, feet hurt. So, but it's always a little extra for me. It always had to be a little extra. To say the least, it always had to be extra. So even if I didn't want it, even when I thought I was good, even when like one of my teammates, Shaheed White, he was amazing, right? Unfortunately, he passed away, whatever. But he would do extra stuff And he was good. He was like our athlete. Like he was like it just he was like all conference or whatever back in the day, you know, offense and defense. He just did it all. Pretty boy, he was awesome. And you'll see him work. You just see him work. Like, yo, you good. Doesn't matter. He worked. He pushed himself. And I caught a little bit of that buzz too. So I can't lie to you. But like, yeah, I always wanted to be the best. I just knew in that snapshot when I got cut, I was like, I look back at everything. I was like, I've always been good. And I feel like sometimes when I didn't even try, I was like, when I wrestled, you know, you want to be wrestling, you know what I mean? And I was like 22-3. You know, I went to the counties, placed second in the counties. It was crazy. Like, I'm like, yo, I'm out here. I'm out here. You know what I mean? But so I mean, it was never. I'm not gonna lie to you. It never was like, yeah, I'm gonna be the best. I know I'm the best. It's like, oh, I'm actually good at this. Let me see how far I can really go with it.
Yeah. So, just didn't know if it was like, you know, some people have like there was a moment where somebody doubted them, and then whatever it is, like, man, I'm gonna prove this person wrong, and that person don't know that you've been their motivation your whole life, kind of deal.
I can tell you that I always felt like, okay, so being older, I can look back and say, well, you know, this is the word that I would describe what I was, but I didn't know the word at the time, right? So I remember when I think I was always let me just get the opportunity. I didn't come here for the job. I came here for an opportunity to get the job. Like that was kind of my mentality without saying it. Like all I need is you to put me there. Get me there, put me in a position and watch me work. And if my work is not good enough, then so be it. And that's kind of how it transitioned from arena to, because remember in 2002 I got drafted. And when I got drafted, the 7th round. And you almost say at that point, I should have just went free agent because at least I get to pick where I go. You know, if people wanted me, I went 7th round, be it as it may, whatever the universe wanted. But I just need an opportunity. And when I got opportunities, when I went to Canada, and they wouldn't let me play, but they'll let me test out the offensive lineman to see if they were worthy by them, if they can block me or how good I am, but never will sign me. Right? When I went to arena, I think I led the league with 6 sacks. I mean, we only had 6 games, I guess. I don't know. I forget. You know, I led the team in sacks there. Didn't much come from that. Like, it seemed like everything that I was on, you know what? I remember a conversation I had with my agent, and things wasn't working out. And I was like, you know, and I think this is where mine was more of a somber thing. Mine wasn't like, you know, and I opened it up and I was Superman. It was more like a, hey man, I've been doing it my way. It's not working. I'm just gonna do it your way from here on out. So then I can blame you if it doesn't work.
Kind of.
You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't working. My way wasn't working. But I humbled myself. Okay, you can call it what you want. But I was like, yo, listen, I tried it my way. I didn't try to do this and that. It's not working. And I can tell you right now, when I was in with the Texans, bro, I was outside. It was great. I love when I was in Texas. It was awesome. Then I went to New Orleans. You're putting me in Tampa, New Orleans, Houston. Come on, what do you want me to do?
When you were at each of these teams, was it you like kind of soaking in the environment? Like, what do you think was working and what didn't work in each of those opportunities?
Once I decided, like, hey, I really want to be here. I really want to do stuff. I was in Atlanta, so I was rubbing elbows with Michael Vick. Michael Vick was like right here. You know how much time that was when Michael Vick was with Atlanta? I blame society. Okay, that's what I blame, because there's no way you sent me to Tampa Houston, Atlanta, and New Orleans, and expect me not to get out there and have me a good time. Okay, I'm in society. No, seriously. As I went through different teams, I learned like how they practice. I learned how some people stayed a little later. I learned some people who just when I could tell you when I was with I remember Coach Rye told me he was like, "Yo, you move like one of us." That's the year they went to the Super Bowl because I was on the practice squad. Not when they went to Super Bowl, the year they went to. So they cut me like week 12 or whatever it was, 13, whatever. When I knew they were going, they cut me. But he told me, he said, you move like us. And I watched how they practice. And to watch Greg Spires, Simeon Rice, Booger, and the infamous Warren Sapp, like, come on, bro. Like, Ellis Williams. Like, I'm watching these guys work. And you never see anything like it. Like, they worked. They deserved everything they could have been. They were good. You know? And I learned from them. Atlanta was okay, but at that point it was TJ Duckett, Michael Vick, work done. You know what I mean? MDB, whatever. It was great. I was in Tennessee when they went to AFC Championship. I think that's when I saw. I believe that was a game that I was there at the game where it was so cold. The Titans was playing the Steelers. And I think that's when Eddie George got knocked out the game because he ran into the D tackle and he just dropped. It was crazy. Eddie George a big dude, so the dude didn't light him up. I don't know what happened. I just know he ran into him and he just went down. It was a freak. It was a freak accident. But I think I probably learned the most. I would say is probably when I was with Tampa. Because Ryan had them boys going, Renelli had them boys going, and all the other places, New Orleans, it was cool because they had Charles Grant and them and Darren Howard, I think his name was. He was cool. I think it was Darren because he was there with New Orleans. But that went to Chicago. I was there for a little bit, and that was fun. But there was nothing. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was about to say, so through all those experiences and when it was all like your first taste of the NFL, how did Arena come into play through those experiences, and how did you hear about Arena? How did you
so after doing all of that, I was over it. I think I came back for Arena. And I think that's when Jay came in and he was like, "Yo, what'd you do, Arena?" I was like, "Look, it's Arena." And respectfully, I just didn't know. I didn't know. And I didn't know they had their own vibe.
You ain't the only one. Everybody went through that.
I didn't know they had their own vibe. You know what I mean? But I loved it. So I guess my agent was like, "Hey, won't you try this?" And I was like, "Man, bro." I remember this. Because that wasn't a great one. That was oh man. So I think after I did all that NFL Europe, yada yada. Yeah, because the NFL Europe, I was in Canada. I was back and forth off of teams, yada yada. I was working for a pizza place on the weekends, delivering pizza. I was working for Deer Park Water. I think all of this happened in a 5-year span from 2002 to 2006, 7 years. No, but 5, 6.
Six. I think that's when you ended up here because 2005 was my last year in Orlando. So you came in 2006.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So I remember coming and they gave you a place to stay and stuff. But when I tell you I had no money, I literally for the first week or so till we got paid had to sleep in my jacket with no sheets. I just sat there. I was like, all right. I didn't even feel bad. I was like, whatever. And then there was like, maybe I could get an advance because I had no money. Like, I had no money. And I I slept there, and because they gave us a place to stay, you know that, and
Mm-hmm.
so we go to practice, and I think then is when I was trying to market myself. So that's why I was doing like the backflips and stuff, you know, trying to get
Oh yeah.
any way I could get in. You dig what I'm saying? If I got to backflip my way in, that's what I would do. You feel what I'm saying? I got to do what you got to do. What you got to do. I eat. Gotta eat.
Uh-huh.
So, I believe because you know, Arena had a lot of money, so I had me wearing 95, another guy wearing 95. That was like, and because we both was wearing 95, one of us was gonna get cut. But my position coach didn't know who was 95 on film because we both dark and we wore 95. We were dark, we wore 95. So we couldn't, he couldn't tell. So this is what I found out later. But I remember, because this is crazy, I remember he's like, you pass rush. All right, you pass rush. All right, you pass rush. I remember him doing this, but I didn't know what he was doing. Like I literally didn't know until after everything was said and done.
Mm-hmm.
And I almost got cut. I almost got cut for there because he's like he couldn't figure out who was the 95 until we actually went and noticed like you rush. Okay, now you rush, and then now you rush, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I almost got cut, which was crazy. That's crazy though. Because I was like, I thought I was in.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Jason. What's Jason? Who was the media guy for us? Was it Jason? What's his name? Gosh, ain't gonna be.
There's a couple of them.
Yeah,
and I've been here with the first.
Yeah, you. I forget. He asked me. He was like, "Oh, you the guy that does the back flips?" And I was like, and I think at this point I was irritated.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, "All right, well, I'm gonna be good known for the guy to do more than backflips." That's what I said to him. I remember that because he always never let me forget it. And then I think that first run, that 2005, 2006 run, was promising. I think I had like 8 sacks or something like that. I think Henry Taylor was it. Remember Henry Taylor?
Yeah, I remember Henry Taylor.
Okay. So he was he here the first 2 years? I don't know. I forget who else I was with. The first year was cool.
I think you was with him the first year. And I know your second year, that's when it was over. Like that's when you took over, and then was it? I don't know if it was 2 or 3 years you was in Arena before you.
2 years. 2
years.
Because that same year after the 2007, so wild. So here's how stuff works out, right? So I told you the incident, and just when I went to the league. Now I don't know if you know this, but I didn't want to go to the league. At that point, I was over it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I ain't gonna be no camp body no more. I live my best life in the Arena. I've loved here. You see what I'm saying? I've loved here. They know me by They know. We're on Church Street. We hanging out with, you know what I mean? We had the Oak Room. You know what I'm talking about? You know, Mako. You think we everywhere. We everywhere. Love. It was all love. Crest Chop House. I remember all that. It was all love. And I was like, man, I could get used to this. You feel me? That second year, I was like, I could just. And they was like, yo, that's what Jane was like, yo, won't you, try out? Nope. Why? I ain't trying to be nobody camp body no more. I'm old. And I'm living my best life. You know what I mean? I'm over here. I'm out here doing it right now, bro. I appreciate it. People know me, right? Yeah, okay. At the time, I was driving a Pontiac. I thought the bitch was bad. You know what I'm saying? I'm out with the Pontiac. And, I'm doing my thing because, I'm feeling myself right now. The Pontiac, though, that's how Pontiac. Not even a good one with the bucket seats. The old new ones with the joints. Anyways, so so they like, try out. And it took I think Monty definitely called me. The goon talked to me, and my agent said, "It's how it always. This is exactly how I remember this." He goes, if you don't want to go play, that's fine. He said, I understand. I was like, yeah, I don't really know. It's not really. I'm doing good here. I think back then you were making about $100,000, so it's a lot of money. I ain't seeing that money like that. You did, and I got to pay for my rent. Come on, stop playing. So, they're like, yeah, he's like, you could stay. and that's fine. He said, but if you don't go, would you 2 or 3 years from down the line ask yourself, what if?
Mm-hmm.
And if you ask yourself, what if, then I think you would kind of know. Now, I am not going verbatim. I'm kind of like summarizing what he said. But it was something to that effect of, would you ask yourself, what if later? Mm-hmm. And that was my tipping point of going to the league. Now, I don't know, the irony of how ironic it was because, do you remember that year the league folded?
2000, or right at the end of that 2008 season.
No, the year, yes, because 2007. So it was 2005, 2006, because you left 2006. So 2005, 2006?
Yeah, it was 2000 because I went, after a while, so you start, making some money, you start chasing it. So it was 2006, I was in Philly, 2007, Chicago, and then I signed a 3-year deal in Utah. But I only got through that first year before it went down. The league went down. So that was 2008.
Okay. Yeah, right. Because 2007 to 2008, because I remember playing at 2006, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008. Yes. So 2007, the league folded. And I was like, damn, if I would have stayed,
you would have been out of some money.
I would have been out of my life. Like I would have been like, yo, I could at least try. You know what I mean? Like that was a crazy, like the whole, like you're going back to, like I said, the whole going to Minnesota, that was a fluke. That wasn't even something I wasn't even supposed to be there for. It just so happened that they were looking for one guy, saw me. You feel me? Then, I thought I was going to go to the league. I told him I didn't want to go to the league. And I was like, all right, fuck it, I'll go. Freak it, I'll go. Then the league folded. Like, it's just crazy how, had I not been where Assad was that night that he was playing, it would have been a different team. I probably would have never got saw. Nobody would have never saw me. Well, shit, they might have saw me. Maybe Notre Dame would have saw me. I don't know. But we don't know what would have happened. Definitely wouldn't have been in Minnesota, you dig? So, that happening, and then my 4 glorious years there. And then from there, I didn't know what else to do.
When you got to Tampa that last time, like we were all us pass rushers in the arena, we over here looking at you like, all right, you need to represent for all of us. So we was all watching you, rooting you on. And so when you went there, I think they had just drafted a DN. And and we was looking at it like,
it's gonna be a challenge.
Yeah, it's gonna be a challenge.
You ain't gonna get me back. That's what I thought. Yeah,
that's gonna be tough. But then you outperforming that first year. It's like, all right, that's what's up.
So the bittersweet thing about that was, I was 27 years old, and essentially, and I'm careful about how I say this because Gaines was a good dude, but he passed away. And
I remember.
And I want to be like, I beat out the 4th pick, not the 4th round, the 4th pick in the draft. I want to say that, but I can't wholeheartedly say that knowing that his life was taken low. His life was that short. Mm-hmm. So it's bittersweet. It says like, I busted my ass. I got here and like, look at me, bro. Like I beat out this guy and I end up starting and yada yada. Not just playing, but I end up starting. And I really can't say it without
feeling some kind of way about it.
Right. Like, Now, granted, it wasn't that he passed away while he was on the team because he wasn't on the team at that time. At that time, I beat him out or whatnot. But it kind of was a bittersweet because I was excited, but then you can't really. You can, but you know how that is.
So, you kind of like breeze through that moment, like, that's good. All right, so what else is going on?
Right. Which sucks because that's a piece of the glory, baby. You know what I mean? Like, I did that. When he was here, I did it. So whatever.
Yeah. So when you let's compare pass rushing from arena to NFL. When you were in arena, how did you approach pass rushing? How did you approach your angles, your path to the quarterback? How did you approach that?
Well, I mean, you're not like. So remember, we used to do like the circle, like the an arena,
Oh, right on the hoop.
the hoop, running the hoop. So
Yeah.
This one you're like cop, and then you go. You ain't running a hoop. You trying to beat them to a point.
Yes.
Right, like you're trying to be. And arena, you're doing kind of the same thing, but it was weird because you kind of got to take that wide step kind of over there and come back. You might have been more athletic in arena if you think about it, but no, it was that's the difference. Like that angle, that side angle, where in the NFL you beat them to a point. Clearly, you're not close to the quarterback as you were in there, so. I mean, the talent clearly. I mean, I gotta say clearly, it was definitely better. You know what I mean? And I mean, you got guys that been in there. I mean, going against Chris Samuels, guys like that. And Pettijohn, I think his name was Luke Pettijohn from the Giants. Some good. I went against a boy from the Cleveland Browns who retired, the left tackle. White boy, he was good. Joe Thomas.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was different, and we pass all the time in the arena. They're buckle down and run down your throat. You let them, you know what I mean. So those opportunities, playing the run was like playing the pass. Like we played pass, and if it ran, we'll live to see another day. Right, That's how we saw it in the arena. They ran, I give them a couple yards, we'll see it. But we mostly passing, where depending on But I think back in the day, they had Fred Taylor and Maurice. What's his name? Remember they had a bunch of tandem running backs.
Yeah.
D Ward and Brandon Jacobs and
Yes.
and the Giants. Fred Taylor and what's that boy name? Come on, the little short dude, short little stubby dude.
Oh, Maurice, MJD, Maurice Jones.
Yeah, Jones Drew, right? Him and Fred, they had a tandem. They were running rock back then, baby.
Yeah,
you couldn't listen. They were running the rock back in the day. You remember that? That was it. That's the rock of soccer.
I remember. I remember.
So I mean, it was good, man. I remember, one time I was doing well there, and I tell you, I just decided one time I'd get up and I would get there early on a Monday, Tuesday, day off, and I'd go and run on a treadmill. So the trainer had treadmill runs I used to go do like every week. And I feel like it was direct correlation with my success there. And the reason why I say that is because if you remember, Arena went on like around this time, right? Like, was it like when Arena was? Like, we were going into Arena. When Arena started? When we played this, like
time-wise, it was literally as soon as the Super Bowl ended.
Right. So February to April, May, something like that.
From February till like July, somewhere around there.
Right. Now, I went from there, and I think that was the year we went to the Arena Bowl. So I went from there to right to training camp. Mm-hmm. They gave me like 2 days off with the training camp. I was tired. Played like 30 games that year. Mm-hmm. And I think the bye week came, and I was like working out, still trying to work out, keep my body. And I think my like 9th, 10th week, I just kind of stopped running. I was tired, like on my own. I just stopped running, and I feel like my play might have fell off from that. I didn't put 2 and 2 together till afterwards, but it just felt like, I felt like it was a direct correlation, but maybe it was just I ran out of gas. I was tired.
Mm-hmm. When you was in Arena, I remember the 2 moves that you were like top notch in. One, running a hoop, but my hoop was speed, but yours was started out speed, and then you kind of beat them to the corner and kind of power. And it was like once you got that corner, you gave it up. Like there wasn't no trying to recover to try to, I guess wall you down to the ground. Like once you got that edge, it was over. Like the power took over. It was speed to power. I don't know how you would say it, but I remember you having that and then that club.
Yeah,
which I fell victim to a couple times. But once you feel you coming off your feet, it's a wrap. I had to try to grab you. It's like, you coming with me?
yeah, that was yo, yeah, that was a good thing.
I remember when I was in Philly and we was 5-stepping to death. I'm like, how are we gonna 5-step against him?
yo, I tell you, I think it was Chicago who he's playing. San Jose. I think it was San Jose. And I think that's what I got the record of that game. But they were going on 4. Because you remember they went on 2 or 3. And you always timed it with the guy that's coming down, right?
Yeah.
So they had me, I was getting out the ball so fast, they were going on 4. And they just let me run. They were like, and then, I'm like, okay, if it's I know that third one, I'm out. Or you know what I'm talking about. It's that cadence. They right here. So you're like, oh yeah. And I remember they went on 4. I was like, that's crazy. Y'all went on 4?
Yeah, you never go on 4. If you don't up on 1, if it ain't on 2, it's on 3.
Right. You know what I mean? Like it's especially, and then you kind of like peek and see where the wide receiver at, and if you're coming this way or how long it was some tip off that you'd be like, yeah, you know what I mean? I got him, but it was a fun one of yeah, so it was a good time. I had never wanted to block you, so when I saw tape, I was just like, how's he doing this? Like what is he doing? Like it was just I guess we would say natural. It just it didn't like you were trying. You know what I mean? It was just like I was like,
I was speeding hands. Like
it was just so easy for you. It was like he's there. Like I was like, what move is this? Like what is he doing? Because it doesn't. You don't seem like you're doing a lot, but you're so. You know what I would say, and this is a compliment. You look at like 2 James or Jeezy, and you're like, well, lyrically they're okay, but they're effective, right? Like when you hear them, you're like, yo, this okay, but I'm still rocking with you. You know what I mean? And that's how I look at you. I'm like, what is he doing? I'm like, is that what he's doing? This shit's effective as fuck. Like, how's he doing this and making it look so easy? So, trust me, when I got there, you were, you still are. You still are, but I got a couple of years in. You know what I mean? That made it work for a while. But
if you would have stayed, you already got half my records here in them 2 years. If you would have stayed, I would have had no record.
No. Listen, I'm just trying. Look, you, man, legend. Like seriously, like to not know anything about you, to know about you. You know what I mean? Like to go there and they're like, yo, this is the guy. Like he's that guy. And to see that, I'm like, all right, well, see what happens. Type deal. And I think that's what. So I think Henry came after you left. Because he's would have been like the next best. Because he would have been the next best. Dog.
Yeah. So what I know of, kind of how Jay was approaching it, he'd like to have two pass rushers. Mm-hmm. Like he tried me out with Jermaine Smith at one point in time, but I think the idea is to try to have 2 bookends or at least two pass rushers. Like it was me and Ernest at first, then it was me and Jermaine Smith. And then I don't know if he really pulled anybody that 3rd year. But when you first came, I believe I ain't speaking for him, but looking at it, I think he had the veteran Henry Taylor as you were trying to develop.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then you develop faster than expected. And then that second year, boom, you know, you up there, and then it's just trying to plug somebody in to help you out.
I think that was first, yeah. Because that's when I had that labrum tear. That sucked. But see, I had a labrum tear.
First year, yeah, I remember you did something with your shoulder that first year.
Because then I had to go to the opposite side. Because that's where I think because we were doing that was wild. It was good times. Like it was good times. You know what I mean? Like listen, I'm gonna tell you, playing in that arena was awesome. Not the new arena. And was it Emily Arena? Which one is this one now? The one over there. Is it
the one it is now?
Yeah. Is it the Emily?
AF1 now.
What was it prior to
it was always just the AFL. You know, we say Arena League, and I think after a while it might have changed to AF1 or something like that.
No, the stadium we played at.
Oh, TD Waterhouse, and then it turned into, well, now it's the Kia Center, and it was something else before that. But it was, you know, I don't know if you were still here when it was a TD Waterhouse. When I was here, it was a TD Waterhouse.
It was if it was that one, it was rocking. That was the best time. That the new stadium now, like it looks watered down.
Big.
Yeah, it's just watered down.
Yeah. So matter of fact, tell me about this moment right here. I believe research, they say this was your very first sack when you went back to the Bucks. Is that true?
Yeah, with Drew Brees. Yeah.
How did that feel when you know you're sacking Drew Brees and your beginnings coming from arena to get to the NFL and making that noise?
So that was. So first off, I never wanted to play 3 technique because I was trash at 3 technique. Just so you know. But again, I got to the nickel package. They let me in a nickel package, and that's my get money dance. And the chin strap thing, you see, I got that loose part right there. That was on purpose. I thought Deion Sanders did that. I swear to God.
That's where you got it from.
I think the strap. The whole this dance. Now you don't remember this, but you will remember this. But this was a way more dragged out version of 50 Cent. I get money all the time. The remix when he kept do this. That's what I got. I got to get money dance. And I don't know if it was that year, but I was getting like 20,000 a sack or something like that.
Oh, that's extra motivation right there.
Something like that. It was that. No, that was my first year. No, the second year we kind of didn't know. The second year is when they were like, all right, well, you get incentive bonuses because they didn't want to give me a bigger contract because they kept arguing that I was kind of like a rookie, but I wasn't a rookie because I was 27. I've been through whatever. Anyway. But sorry, but it was cool. It was fun. It was fast. It is like the next play. It's like the next play. Matter of fact, when I made the team, the best part about it was nobody told me. Because when you get cut, they come and get you. When you make the team, nobody talk to you. So you come in the next day, you're like, did I make the team? So you come in kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, because they, sometimes they wait till the last minute to cut you, which I think is rude as fuck. Like, if you're going to cut me, don't have me coming thinking I made it. Let me come in like that Monday, like ready to go. Huh?
Cut me while I'm at the hotel.
Yeah, like, y'all just text me, whatever. Like, don't wait till I get there and be like, yo, the Reaper want to see you. Then the Reaper comes, he's like, hey. So when I made the team, it wasn't a celebration. It wasn't like, yo, I did like 4 or 5 years. I mean, it's like 5 years later. When I made the team, nobody was like, congratulations, nothing. They just was like, all right, practice. So we went out and we practiced. And nothing never. And then that was it. So I played out my contract. So,
Is there So, is there any words of advice for people along the way? Because you had your share of, your highs and lows.
Mm.
Basically, our story. Like for guys who, yeah, they may have gotten cut in the NFL, CFL, even cut in arena, but they still looking to play. Is there any words of advice you have for those guys to keep going and try to end up, with a career like you?
I got to a point where I was like, if I don't make it here, I just keep it moving. Because after those 5 years, that I was like, it's just too much. Like not having a job, quitting your job to possibly do something, yada yada. I come from a standpoint. I can't tell you like not to give up, and I don't think that you giving up if you understand that there's probably something more for you. I feel like I didn't give up because literally that's all I had. Like I feel like that was all I had. That was all I had to offer. And I know it's more to me now to offer. But I'm glad I went through my experience. But the guys who keep trying, I say keep trying, but ha- don't quit, but have an expiration date. I don't know if that makes sense. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what? Exhaust all your options. That's what I did. Arena, Canada, NFL Europe, practice squad. And if none of these didn't work out, then I think it was arena. I was like, if this doesn't work out, I'm done. Like I'm not. But again, all I needed was opportunity. And
Mm-hmm.
you want to come into your situation like, hey, I don't want the opportunity for the job. I want an opportunity to get the job.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you handle the situation. I feel like. Don't feel like because you were drafted high, you deserve it. Don't. You got the opportunity because you bust your ass. Continue busting your ass.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to prove every day when I was playing football that I was good. And games or high draft pick had to prove they were bad. Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
They get
Yeah.
like 3 or 4 years to prove that they're bad. I get every day I had to prove that I was good. Because when you're in the NFL, you get drafted first round, you're gonna be there at least 4 years. Whether
Mm-hmm.
you bad or good, you're gonna be there. Bad, good, great, all of whatever. You're gonna be there. But as a free agent, 7 rounder, every day you go to work, you gotta prove that you're the best, or you
Mm-hmm.
gotta prove that you belong there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I say. Like if you're gonna do it, make it count.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like everybody, the consensus is give you, especially if you're looking at, you didn't get an NFL shot, but you're still trying to get that NFL shot, give yourself about 2 to 3 years.
Mm.
You don't make it by then, it's time to move on.
It's because it stops your life, stops your growth. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it does. It stops your growth. It stops your growth because I could have worked my way up 5 years later at a job that I could have been now maybe the vice president of or the CEO of or not at a new job, right? Like you just never know. All you know is you just keep starting over. So it doesn't work out. Well, those 5 years I played, I worked at Best Buy. I worked at a pizza place. I worked at a delivering place, Deer Park Water. I worked wherever I could
Mm-hmm.
just to try to survive so I could maybe get a chance to play the NFL.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. So I ain't gonna hold you up. I just definitely wanted to catch up with you.
no, for
Uh,
sure. For sure.
appreciate, our talks when we do have them, even if it's a text conversation. And
Yeah.
I definitely remember when you came the one day when the one game that you came and spoke to my D lineman. They're all ears. They're in your grill. Just what you say every step needs to look the same. Every pass rush, like they was all in it. Like I appreciate that. 'Cause I remember how hungry they were, staring at you, just like trying to soak up whatever you had.
Yeah. Anytime I can, I will. Yeah, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Especially for you, big dog. You know what I mean? You let me know. I come through, hang out, son. You still in Orlando, right?
Still here, so I'm waiting to see what's gonna happen. With my coaching situation. So if it does happen, does come back, I'm already gonna be on the phone trying to get you to come out.
I can make it happen for you, only for you though.
All right, appreciate it. So we're gonna sign off, but I want you to hang out a little bit. We'll sign off, but just hang out a little bit, and I'll talk off camera.
All right, bet.
All right, appreciate it.
Yes, sir.